What's up all you transforming dudes and dudettes, Toy Shiz here, and I got a really quick review for you today. We're totally going to be checking out the brand new Hasbro Transformers Siege, the War for Cybertron Trilogy MEGATRON, and I've been really looking forward to finding this guy. This is finally the first time I saw him on the shelves, and these have kind of been few and far between. They were supposed to be out a little bit earlier, and they got pushed back due to a lot of the Christmas and clearance sales and everything else like that, but they are hitting and they look fantastic. He is a Voyager class, and I can show you size and all that stuff coming up. Love this Megatron artwork. Megatron next to Starscream, and I guess Soundwave, there's a couple of them, but Megatron has always been that Transformer that you want. You know what I mean? Like, he's the fun one, but he's also the one that's in charge, and he used to be a gun, but now, love this artwork as well, now he's a tank again. He's always been kind of a tank in his Cybertron mode. Gun mode is when he kind of got to, you know, Earth in that sense. That's just what I'm used to him. There's 1,000 iterations of this guy, but he does look fantastic. Here's everything that you can get. Blasts, little mini-con looking robots, all that kind of stuff. They turn into guns. You can put little particle blast effects on them. I love that. Giant sword. Can't wait to get into this figure. Let's open them up. Here is the Transformers Siege Megatron. And here's old Megs right out of the packaging, and he's looking pretty fantastic. Really like this background part. You pull it right out of the packaging. That's pretty cool. I like when they give little display things. Not necessarily being a display. It's more of the background for the packaging, but hey, looks pretty cool, and you can use it for a stand if you so choose. He comes with his trademark Megatron blaster, all that electrical and really, you know, very, very computerized, very futuristic look to it. Nothing that where, you know, you could shoot any projectiles or anything. That would have been just a little bit extra icing on the cake, but still very cool, nicely sculpted, everything else. The one thing, no weathering on the actual weapons part. That's weird, because there's weathering on the figure and, you know, particle effects and burns and scars and all that stuff, but nothing actually on the weapons. Same thing for his sword or his giant, you know, whatever you want to call it, sword. That's obviously what it is, but you know, that's really cool looking too. It's painted well. It has little paint apps here every which way, silver, black. This is all, you know, silver, gray plastic, black plastic, everything, but it looks nice. I just wish that, you know, maybe you could have had like, and I know aesthetically wise, when you go to build the Transformer and make him into a tank, it's not going to look good. However, it might look kind of cool if it's all kind of chewed up or burned or something like that. But you do have Megatron for that in that sense. And he has all these particle effects, everything. Love the new paint decos that they're doing on these Transformers. Love the head. That is classic Megatron, baby. I absolutely love that. No piping for the red eyes, but he does have red eyes, so I definitely dig that. Nice purple Decepticon logo. Blues, reds, everything is painted nicely. Everything is applied nicely. You got all these different scrapes all along his front paneling. That's pretty cool. All along the arms. This part, that part, all the good parts. Very, very cool. Nice. Somewhat heavy figure. Nice, a decent heft to him. He doesn't feel too light for a Megatron figure, but he doesn't feel too heavy either, just as an FYI. His head is on a ball joint. He can spin all the way around. It can even come up like this if he wants to look extra high. All that great stuff. You get 360 on the arms. You don't get a bicep swivel. You get a elbow. Nothing in the hands. Legs kick out about that much, go back about that much. He's got a knee and, I mean, somewhat of a swivel and stuff. You can get him into some decent poses, which I can show in just a second. One thing I would like to say, though, again, keeping with the aesthetics of Transformers and how you transform them and everything else, I get it. You don't want parts misshapen and everything else. However, when you do, and I know most people keep Transformers nowadays in the robot mode, right? Everyone does, I would think. So in that sense, once he's transformed, how about some extra heads and some hands? Maybe a pointing hand or something like that where you could in fact pop that little part off and do something like that. That's actually one of my, like, kind of like a gripes, I guess, going forward with Transformers. If you're going to be paying an extra amount, now don't get me wrong, it takes a lot of ingenuity, craftsmanship, and the brains to put something like this together. Try it. You're not going to be able to do it. I know I can't. But I'm just saying, in terms of aesthetics, maybe later down the line or something like that, extra hands, extra heads, something like that, just to add to that, maybe include that in the price, something like that if they do go up. But I do think that that would be very, very cool. So let's go ahead and put his classic gun. I'm so excited. Every time Megatron has a cannon like this, I mean, that is killer right there. And let's go ahead and put his sword into his hand. Bingo, bango. He holds everything well, looks great, stands well. Now comes the tricky part. We're going to transform him. I don't know how long this is going to take me. You know my Transformers reviews. It takes me a while. So I'm just going to snap my fingers, and it's going to be transformed, and then we can talk about it. 3, 2, 1, transform. And here's Megatron all transformed. And you know what? I got to say, it really didn't present a lot of problems for me. Just in the back parts, it was a little difficult with the instructions, like just illustrating it, how to put them together. But I managed to figure out. He is a Cybertronian tank. Looks pretty cool. Balances well. You kind of have to push down in some senses to get the pegs to line up perfectly, to kind of all clip together. But for the most part, he looks good. You can still see him peeking out from underneath his chassis. But overall, it's a cool looking tank. It's a little, I would say it's, you know, it's kind of missing some parts, but in realistic, I like that you can slip this extra sword cannon. I'll show you, kind of slip it through underneath this top part, and then it clicks right into his shoulder cannon, and he gets this extra long piece. So overall, very, very cool. Has some, yeah, you know what? Yeah, actually, you know what? It moves pretty good. That's pretty cool. So that's basically it. And then it also has some wheels on the bottom, which allows it to glide around. So overall, it's a good Cybertronian tank. It's a good alt mode. I dig it. I dig this Megatron. I think he's pretty good. Let's go ahead and transform him back. And boom, that was actually the quicker way to go. Once you transform him back, it's like a cinch. Although I did get my finger caught in one of his joints. That sucked. I'm just being a baby. Anyways, here he is with some other Autobots just to show size comparison, and I think that lines up pretty well, especially with these smaller Autobots. And Optimus Prime hopefully is about that size as well. I know I picked him up, so look for him in the next review. Couple gripes with this figure, just in the sense of it was kind of a pain to transform him, but I think that's on me. In the head, he doesn't have anything to kind of keep his head steady. It just kind of rests right there, so when you want to move him around, and then, you know, sometimes if you're kind of transforming or moving around, you kind of push down on it. So in that sense, I'm not really like digging that. I just wish, I like when things peg in, especially with these Transformers. Couple extra heads, hands, that would have been cool. Something to think about later. I'm excited to get some particle effects, test him out. He's got little pegs here and there all over the body. You can put these little things. Looks like he's in a firefight. His sword cannon thing that you can put on him when in his alt mode, that looks pretty cool. It fastens in really nicely, and it's cool to give Megatron a giant sword. So what do you guys think about this new Megatron figure? Are you collecting Siege figures? What are your thoughts? Comment below. Let's talk toys. I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, transform and roll out to find some new action figures. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.